Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Success is not built in the spotlight. It's built in the quiet hours when no one is watching. It's built when you show up early, stay late, and put in the effort that no one will ever see. The world rewards results, not intentions, and the key to real success? Work in silence. See, too many people spend their energy talking about what they're going to do. They announce their goals, they post about their ambitions, and they look for validation before they've even done the work. But let me tell you something. Talking about success is not the same as achieving it. Real progress happens when you put your head down, focus, and let your results speak for you. Success is built in the quiet hours, not in the spotlight. It is not forged in moments of applause or recognition, but in the unseen hours of effort, repetition, and discipline. When the world is silent and distractions are few, that is when the real work begins. It is in these moments that champions are made, businesses are built, and mastery is developed. The true foundation of success is laid long before anyone notices. The stage, the recognition, the rewards, these are merely the after effects of what was built in solitude. Many people crave success, but few are willing to embrace the quiet grind it requires. They want the applause before they have earned it, the validation before the effort. But success doesn't work that way. It does not respond to wishes or intentions. It responds to effort, consistency, and an unwavering commitment to the process. The spotlight is merely a reflection of what has already been done in private. It does not create success, it reveals it. Those who truly understand this principle are the ones who rise to the top, not because they chase attention, but because they focus on becoming the kind of person who deserves it. The world does not see the late nights spent refining a skill, the early mornings dedicated to studying and strategizing, or the countless failures that serve as stepping stones toward greatness. It does not see the sacrifices made, the temptations resisted, or the discipline required to stay on course when no one else is watching. But these are the very things that separate those who dream from those who achieve. While some seek comfort, others embrace the struggle, knowing that every hour spent in quiet effort is an investment in their future. The greatest musicians did not master their instruments on stage. They did it in solitude, repeating scales and melodies until their fingers moved with effortless precision. The most successful entrepreneurs did not build their empires in the public eye. They spent years testing ideas, failing, adapting, and refining their vision before the world ever took notice. The most dominant athletes did not develop their strength and skill under the bright lights of competition. They did it in empty gyms, on deserted tracks, in the quiet spaces where greatness is truly born. Working in the quiet hours requires patience. In a world that craves instant gratification, this is where most people fall short. They expect quick results, immediate validation, and overnight success. But real achievement is a slow process, and those who are willing to endure the quiet, unseen struggle are the ones who ultimately succeed. It takes faith to keep going when there are no immediate rewards, to trust the process when progress is invisible. But this is where resilience is built. This is where character is formed. Silence is not emptiness, it is preparation. Every moment spent working in obscurity is a moment spent sharpening skills, strengthening resolve, and refining vision. The quiet hours are not a punishment, they are a privilege. They are the time when the distractions of the world fade away, leaving only you and the work, and it is in these moments that you discover what you are truly capable of. Those who seek the spotlight before they have put in the work often find themselves unprepared when they finally step into it. They crumble under pressure because they have not built the foundation strong enough to hold success. But those who embrace the quiet hours, who commit to the work without needing an audience, step into the spotlight fully prepared. When the moment comes, they do not need to prove themselves with words. Their results speak for them. Success is not something that happens to you. It is something you create. And the process of creation is rarely glamorous. It is built in the lonely hours, in the moments when doubt whispers that the effort is pointless, in the decisions to push forward when quitting seems easier. Those who understand this truth do not wait for success to find them. They create it, quietly, until it becomes impossible to ignore. Talking about your goals is not the same as achieving them. There is a world of difference between saying what you are going to do and actually doing it. Yet too many people fall into the trap of believing that expressing their ambitions somehow moves them closer to success. They talk about their dreams, share their plans with friends, post about their intentions on social media, and for a brief moment they feel accomplished. But the truth is, words alone do not build success. Actions do. There is a psychological comfort in speaking about a goal. It gives a sense of progress without requiring actual effort. But this false sense of accomplishment is dangerous. The more people talk, the more they feel as if they have already done something meaningful, when in reality, nothing has changed. The difficult part, the work, the discipline, the persistence still remains, and too often, those who talk the most end up doing the least. They spread their energy thin by seeking validation rather than channeling it into execution. The real test of success is not in what you say, but in what you do consistently. Anyone can claim they want to get in shape, start a business, or achieve financial freedom, but wanting something does not make it happen. It is the discipline of showing up every day, putting in the effort, and staying committed long after the excitement fades that separates those who succeed from those who only dream. The world is filled with people who had great ideas, big plans, and bold statements, but without execution, those things amount to nothing. The most successful people understand that action is the only currency that matters. They do not waste time trying to impress others with their words. Instead, they let their results speak. They are not concerned with how their journey looks to the outside world because they know that true progress happens behind the scenes. While others are announcing their intentions, they are already moving forward step by step in silence. They do not need external validation because they are driven by something much stronger, an internal commitment to their vision. Execution is what turns a goal into reality. Every goal requires sacrifice, effort, and persistence. It requires overcoming challenges, adapting to setbacks, and pushing forward even when motivation runs low. Talking about a goal does none of these things. It does not build resilience, it does not strengthen skills, and it does not move the needle forward. Only disciplined action does. And the longer someone spends talking instead of working, the further they drift from achievement. Success is not built on declarations. It is built on small, daily efforts that accumulate over time. The person who quietly commits to their craft, who puts in the hours without announcing it, who chooses action over empty words, is the one who will eventually rise above the rest. They do not need to prove anything to anyone because their progress will become evident when the results start to show. The world does not reward those who talk about what they are going to do. It rewards those who do it. Talking may feel good in the moment, but it is meaningless without follow-through. Goals are not met by words, they are met by work, and the sooner one realizes that, the sooner they can stop seeking approval and start creating real results. At the end of the day, no one remembers what you said you were going to do, they remember what you actually did. The most successful people focus on results, not validation. They understand that success is not determined by how many people approve of their actions, but by the tangible progress they make. They do not waste time seeking applause or waiting for others to acknowledge their efforts. Instead, they put their energy into execution, into measurable outcomes, into the kind of work that speaks for itself. The world is filled with those who crave validation, who seek recognition at every step, who need reassurance before they take action. But true achievers do not operate this way. They do not measure success by how many people notice their efforts, but by the real impact of their work. Validation is a distraction. It feels good to be acknowledged, to be praised, to be told that you are on the right path. But relying on that external approval is dangerous because it shifts the focus from progress to perception. Those who constantly seek validation become more concerned with how they are viewed than with what they are actually accomplishing. They spend their time crafting an image rather than building something real, and in the long run, this obsession with approval slows them down. They hesitate, they overthink, they shape their decisions around what will earn them the most praise instead of what will drive them toward success. The people who achieve the most in life have learned to detach from the need for constant validation. They know that success is often a lonely road, filled with silent effort and unnoticed sacrifices. They do not need immediate recognition because they trust the process. They understand that true progress is often invisible at first, that the early stages of any great endeavor come with little to no reward, but they keep going anyway. They show up every day, put in the work, and focus solely on improvement. Their motivation comes from within, not from the opinions of others. Results are the only thing that matter in the end. A person can spend years talking about what they want to achieve, posting about their ambitions, and seeking approval from their peers, but if there is no execution, no real progress, none of it matters. Success is built on action, on persistence, on the ability to keep pushing forward regardless of who is watching. The most successful people do not need to announce their intentions or broadcast every step of their journey. They know that when the results come, they will be undeniable. Seeking validation is a trap because it creates dependency. The moment someone becomes reliant on external praise, they give away control over their own motivation. If validation is what drives them, then a lack of validation will slow them down. They will hesitate when no one is watching, they will doubt themselves when the applause stops, and they will struggle to maintain momentum when the excitement fades. But those who focus on results do not have this problem. Their drive comes from a deeper place. They are not doing it for attention, they are doing it for mastery, for excellence, for the fulfillment that comes from real achievement. The world respects results, not intentions. It does not matter how much someone talks about their dreams, how many people applaud their efforts, or how well they present themselves. In the end, what matters is what they have built, what they have accomplished, and the value they have created. Those who focus on results understand this. They are not concerned with looking successful. And that difference is what separates the dreamers from the doers, the talkers from the achievers, and those who seek approval from those who create real, lasting impact. Real progress happens when you put your head down and work, not when you talk about it, not when you wait for the perfect moment, not when you seek approval from others, but when you commit to the process and immerse yourself in the effort. Progress is not about big, flashy moments. It is about the small, consistent actions that compound over time. The people who achieve the most in life are not the ones who constantly analyze their plans or announce their ambitions. They are the ones who get to work, who show up every day, and who do what needs to be done whether they feel like it or not.
The problem with most people is that they overthink. They hesitate. They wait for motivation, and they constantly seek reassurance before taking action. But the truth is, success does not come from thinking about work. It comes from doing the work. No one ever became great by standing on the sidelines, planning endlessly, or waiting for the perfect conditions. Real progress is made when you dive in, when you push forward despite uncertainty, when you embrace the discomfort of growth. It is made in those long hours of effort that no one sees, in the disciplined commitment to getting better, in the relentless pursuit of excellence. Work is the only thing that moves the needle. Talent does not guarantee success. Ambition alone is not enough. Even intelligence means little without action. The only thing that separates those who succeed from those who don't is the willingness to do the work consistently, without excuses. There will always be distractions, doubts, and reasons to procrastinate. But those who make real progress tune all of that out. They do not waste time worrying about what others think. They do not stop to explain their process or justify their efforts. They put their head down and execute. The world is full of people who talk about what they are going to do, but very few actually follow through. Most people start with enthusiasm but fade away when the excitement wears off. But real progress is not about short bursts of effort. It is about persistence. It is about showing up on the days when it would be easier to quit, about pushing through the resistance, about doing the work even when no immediate reward is in sight. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is simple. The successful ones keep going. Results do not come from wishing or hoping. They come from action. Every breakthrough, every achievement, every moment of success is built on the foundation of hard, focused work. The people who master their craft, who build thriving businesses, who achieve their goals, are not the ones who spend their time looking for shortcuts or waiting for inspiration. They are the ones who put in the hours, refine their skills, and push themselves beyond their limits. Progress is quiet. It does not come with applause, recognition, or immediate rewards. It happens in the background, in the daily grind, in the consistent execution of tasks that may seem small but are essential. It happens when no one is watching, when the world is silent, when the only thing that matters is the work itself. And when enough of that work has been done, the results become impossible to ignore. Success is not about grand gestures or momentary bursts of motivation. It is about sustained effort over time. It is about putting your head down, ignoring the noise, and focusing completely on what needs to be done. Those who do this are the ones who eventually rise above the rest. While others are distracted, waiting, or making excuses, they are building something real. And when they finally lift their head, they will see the progress they have made, not because they talked about it, but because they worked for it. When you work in silence, your results will speak louder than words. There is no need to announce every step, to seek validation, or to prove yourself before the work is done. The most powerful statement you can make is not through words, but through undeniable results. Too many people waste energy trying to convince the world of their potential instead of dedicating themselves to the process that turns potential into reality. Success does not require permission, and it certainly does not require an audience. It requires effort, consistency, and a relentless commitment to improvement. The problem with speaking too soon is that it creates an illusion of progress. When people share their goals, they feel momentarily accomplished, as if talking about it brings them closer to success. But words do not build businesses. Words do not create masterpieces. Words do not sculpt strong bodies, generate wealth, or master a craft. Only effort does that. And effort does not need an audience. The most successful people understand that real work is done behind closed doors, away from distractions, and without the need for applause. They are not concerned with how they appear to the world. They are focused on what they are building. Silence is powerful because it keeps you focused. The moment you seek validation, you invite distractions. You begin to care more about how your journey looks to others rather than whether you are actually making progress. You become more invested in perception than execution. But those who achieve greatness do not have time for approval. They are too busy refining their skills, too busy learning, too busy improving. They understand that when the work is complete, the results will speak for themselves. And when that moment comes, there will be no need to explain, defend, or prove anything. Success will be the only proof required. Results are undeniable. A person who has put in the work does not need to announce their expertise. Their skills, their achievements, and their progress will be evident. A person who has built a strong, successful business does not need to explain their process to skeptics. The results will be impossible to ignore. A person who has transformed their body through discipline and consistency does not need to justify their methods. Their actions will have already spoken for them. The greatest accomplishments in history were not made through loud proclamations, but through dedicated, focused effort. The most skilled athletes, the most brilliant minds, the most successful entrepreneurs, none of them relied on words to create their legacy. They relied on work. They knew that every second spent explaining themselves was a second taken away from building something real. And in the end, it was their results that set them apart, not their words. Working in silence also builds resilience. When you stop looking for external validation, you become self-sufficient. You no longer depend on encouragement to keep going. You no longer need applause to feel motivated. You develop the kind of inner drive that cannot be shaken by opinions, criticism, or doubt. And when you reach your goals, the satisfaction is far greater because you know you earned it, not through words, but through action. There is a time to speak, but only after the work is done. Let people doubt. Let them question. Let them underestimate you. None of it matters because in the end, success is the only response you need. The loudest voices in the room are rarely the most accomplished. The people making the biggest claims are rarely the ones with real results. But those who work in silence, who let their progress be their proof, who choose action over empty words, those are the ones who will always rise to the top. And when they do, they will not need to say a word. Their success will say everything for them. Focusing on the work builds discipline and character. It is not just about achieving goals or chasing success. It is about who you become in the process. When you commit yourself fully to the work, something deeper happens. You develop habits that shape your future. You build resilience that keeps you moving forward. And you cultivate a mindset that refuses to settle for mediocrity. The world is full of people who want results, but lack the discipline to do what it takes. They start with excitement, but when the work becomes difficult, they look for shortcuts or give up entirely. But those who truly understand the power of focus know that discipline is not just a tool, it is a way of life. The act of working consistently, regardless of circumstances, is what separates those who succeed from those who fall short. It is easy to put in effort when motivation is high, but true discipline is doing the work even when you do not feel like it. It is waking up early when you would rather sleep in. It is pushing through challenges when giving up seems easier. It is showing up every single day, not because you feel inspired, but because you have committed to the process. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you reinforce the mindset of a winner. You train yourself to operate on principles rather than emotions, and in doing so, you gain control over your future. Character is built in the moments when no one is watching. It is forged in the quiet hours of effort, in the struggles that go unseen, in the sacrifices that others will never know about. The work itself is not just about achieving something, it is about proving to yourself that you are capable of doing hard things. It is about pushing beyond your own limitations, about strengthening your willpower, about becoming someone who follows through no matter what. And as you continue to show up day after day, your character deepens. You become someone who does not quit, someone who does not make excuses, someone who can be counted on to finish what they start. Discipline is a skill, and like any skill, it is developed through repetition. The more you focus on the work, the more natural discipline becomes. Over time, tasks that once felt difficult become second nature. What once required effort becomes effortless, and with each small victory, your confidence grows. You begin to trust yourself in a way that most people never will, because you know you have earned it. This is why the most successful people in the world do not rely on motivation, they rely on discipline. They know that motivation is fleeting, but habits are permanent. They have trained themselves to do the work regardless of how they feel, and that is what makes them unstoppable. Focusing on the work also eliminates distractions. The more disciplined you become, the less you care about what others think, the less you waste time on meaningless activities, and the less you allow outside noise to influence your path. You stop seeking approval and start seeking mastery. You stop making excuses and start making progress. You stop waiting for the perfect moment and start taking action, because you understand that real growth does not happen in moments of comfort. It happens when you challenge yourself, when you push past resistance, when you show up and do the work even when no one is watching. The process itself becomes the reward. You begin to take pride not just in the results, but in the effort itself. You recognize that the struggle, the discipline, the long hours of focused work, all of it is shaping you into a stronger, more capable version of yourself. And in the end, that is the greatest success of all, because results will come and go, but the person you become in the process is what will stay with you forever. Your success will be undeniable when you let your actions do the talking. There is no need to announce every step, no need to seek validation, and no need to prove yourself with words. The most powerful statement you can make is through the results you produce. People can doubt what you say, they can question your intentions, but they cannot deny the reality of your achievements. When you commit yourself to relentless execution, when you focus on progress rather than perception, when you pour your energy into actual work rather than empty declarations, your results will speak louder than anything you could ever say. The world is filled with people who talk about what they are going to do. They make promises. They share their ambitions. They seek recognition before they have even begun. But success does not come from talking, it comes from doing. The more time you spend explaining yourself, the less time you have to execute. The more energy you waste trying to impress others, the less energy you have to create something real. Those who achieve the most are not the ones who seek attention. They are the ones who stay quiet, focused on their craft, and allow their work to be the proof. Action is the great separator. It is what divides those who succeed from those who only dream. A person who truly dedicates themselves to their goals does not need to convince anyone of their potential. Their results will be evidence enough. Every day spent in focused effort, every hour invested in growth, every sacrifice made in pursuit of mastery contributes to an outcome that cannot be ignored. And when that outcome becomes visible, there will be no need to justify, explain, or defend. Success will say it all. Letting your actions do the talking also builds credibility. Words can be empty, but results are undeniable. When you prove yourself through consistent execution, people take notice. Not because you ask them to, but because excellence is impossible to overlook. The world respects those who deliver, who show up, who persist when others quit. It is easy to make claims. It is much harder to back them up with real, measurable success. But the few who do earn a level of respect that no amount of talking could ever achieve. True confidence does not come from convincing others. It comes from knowing you have put in the work. Those who focus on action do not need to defend their journey because they have built something real. They do not need approval because they have proof. They do not waste time debating with doubters because their results render arguments irrelevant. This is the mindset that separates achievers from those who never follow through. Instead of chasing recognition, they chase mastery. Instead of seeking validation, they seek progress. And in doing so, they create success that speaks for itself. Silence is powerful because it allows you to focus. The moment you start explaining yourself, you invite distractions. You give others the chance to influence your path, to cast doubt, to offer opinions that do not serve you. But when you let your work be your response, you stay in control. You remain focused on what truly matters: execution, improvement, and growth. The more disciplined you become in keeping your head down and doing the work, the more unstoppable you become. The loudest voices are rarely the most successful. The people who make the biggest claims often have the least to show. But those who operate in silence, who let their discipline and consistency lead the way, who allow their achievements to do all the speaking, those are the ones who rise above the rest. And when they finally reach the top, when their success is undeniable, they will not need to say a word. Their results will have already said everything. Success is not about what you say, it's about what you do. When you focus on the work and let your actions speak for themselves, you shift the narrative. Your journey becomes one of consistency, dedication, and results, qualities that cannot be overlooked. Let others talk, let them doubt, let them question. While they're busy talking, you'll be busy building. And when your results are undeniable, there will be no need to explain, no need to defend, no need to convince anyone of your worth. Your actions will have already done that for you. Keep your head down, stay focused, and let your success be the proof.